Some mothers die slowly while pretending they are still strong. On a stormy night in Accra, a tired mother ran through flooded streets carrying a secret she had hidden for months. Inside the plastic bag against her chest was a hospital paper that would change her family forever. The doctor had already warned her she needed treatment immediately, but standing beneath the flickering roadside light, she whispered only one thing: "Not yet. My children still need me." That night, the rain was not the only thing falling from the sky, because sometimes the strongest mothers are the ones breaking silently. Every morning, before the sun touched the rooftops of the neighborhood, Amina was already awake. While the city still slept, she lit charcoal fires with tired hands. She boiled porridge quietly so her children would never leave home hungry. The walls of the small compound house were cracked. The roof leaked during heavy rain, but somehow she kept the family together. Her hands carried the marks of years of struggle, years of sacrifice, years of surviving alone after losing her husband. And although her body was slowly failing, she never allowed her children to see it. Whenever she coughed blood into a cloth, she hid it quickly, then smiled like nothing was wrong, because mothers like Amina learned to suffer in silence. At Makola Market, under the burning Ghanaian sun, she carried heavy baskets on her head while pain quietly consumed her body. Still, she smiled at customers. Still, she lowered prices for people poorer than herself. Still, she chose kindness even when life showed her none. But inside her older son, frustration was growing. Kwesi was tired of poverty, tired of watching life move forward for everyone else, tired of darkness during power cuts, tired of pretending hope was enough. And one night, his pain exploded. The kerosene lamp flickered softly as he shouted at the woman who loved him most. "We are stuck. Everyone else is moving forward while we suffer here." But Amina did not fight back. She simply looked down at her plate and quietly wiped away a tear. Because sometimes, mothers understand pain better than anyone. The next morning, while her children believed she was working at the market, Amina sat quietly inside a crowded hospital. The doctor's face carried the kind of sadness that appears when hope is already fading. Her illness had spread. Her body was growing weaker. And without treatment, time was running out. But when the doctor placed medication in front of her, Amina only smiled softly. Because every coin she had belonged to her children, not herself. Outside the hospital gates, she counted the little money left in her hands. It was not enough for treatment, but it was enough to buy bread for the children. So that is what she chose. Because some mothers feed their children while starving themselves in secret. Days later, Kwesi came home with excitement shining in his eyes for the first time in years. A football academy in Accra was holding tryouts. This was his chance to escape poverty, his chance to change everything. But dreams are expensive when you are poor. Transportation, registration, fees, hope always seem to cost money. And so that night, Amina made a decision. She removed the last necklace left behind by her late husband, the final memory of the man she once loved. And in the middle of a heavy storm, she walked alone to a pawn shop. The rain soaked her clothes. Her body trembled from weakness, but she kept walking, because a mother's love often travels farther than her strength. The shop owner warned her the necklace was worth far more than the money he offered, but she accepted it anyway, not for herself, for her son's future. And as she stepped back into the rain, her legs nearly gave out beneath her. Yet somehow, she still found the strength to go home smiling. The morning Kwesi left for his football tryout, Amina watched him carefully, as though she already knew time was running out. She smiled proudly while hiding unbearable pain inside her chest, and before he disappeared down the dusty road, she whispered a prayer for him under her breath. Hours later, Silence filled the house, an unnatural silence. When Abena returned home from school, she called for her mother, but no voice answered, only the sound of a broken cup resting on the kitchen floor. And beside it lay Amina, motionless, weak, broken by months of suffering alone. At the hospital that night, the truth finally arrived. The doctor handed Kwesi a small envelope. Inside were unpaid prescriptions, medical reports, and a handwritten letter. As his trembling hands unfolded the paper, his entire world changed. The letter read, "My son, if you are reading this, then my body has finally become tired. Please do not be angry. Every mother hides her pain somewhere. Mine was under the mat, beside the unpaid bills, where none of you would worry. Kwesi, even when you shouted at me, I still thanked God for your life every night. Abena, keep singing. Kojo, stay kind, and remember this forever. Love is not measured by what a mother says. It is measured by what she silently survives." And for the first time since childhood, Kwesi cried like a little boy. Not because poverty had defeated him, but because he finally understood the price his mother had paid for his dreams. Months later, life in the neighborhood continued. The market was still crowded, the streets were still noisy, the struggles were still real. But something inside the family had changed forever. Kwesi worked mornings before football practice. Abena sang in church with confidence, and little Kojo became known for helping elderly neighbors carry water home, because pain had taught them what sacrifice truly means. One evening, while cleaning the old house, Kwesi lifted the sleeping mat. Underneath it were unpaid bills, hospital papers, and tiny handwritten notes from his mother. Electricity can wait. Kwesi's future cannot. And as the sunset covered the neighborhood in golden light, Kwesi finally understood something most people realize too late. The people who love us the most often suffer quietly so we can keep dreaming. And sometimes, by the time we finally understand their sacrifice, they are already gone. Some parents sacrifice their health so their children can have hope. Call your mother today.